Hello and welcome back to RxCraft. I am Emeros, and as you can see, I have added a few lights to the top of our tower. Yes, I threatened I would, and I did. Haha. So now we have kind of blinking aircraft lights for our tower. Go ahead and zip down there. Kind of just adds that little bit of flair since it's a very tall tower. So on this episode, I have just come off of releasing a nice new episode of our How It Works series about slimes and how they spawn. So let's go ahead and head back over to the witch farm, since I have been working a little bit over there with the results that we have learned from our episode. So we found out that our slimes were spawning on the ground over here, around the edges, and then just kind of hopping across into the water for our farm, which would reduce the efficiency. So I went ahead and started cutting away the dirt. I got this chunk left to do, and then I am in the process of cutting out a chunk of this mountain here. Technically need to go about that far in and cut around here, so I got most of that done, and probably have to chew a little bit of that out, but I'm not gonna go for 100% just yet. Here's the marker, it'll cut right through there. So that's what I've been doing, lots and lots of digging. Nice little beacon to help. And as you can see, we get through this rather quickly with the beacon. Just burn through. Ah, spider. Ah, there we go. Okay. So this has been taking a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. It could be worse. Turkaniel has been planning out the bit of power change that we're going to be doing. Better not throw me off. There we go. We're going to be expanding our power generation capability just a wee bit. But while he's been planning that out, I figured I would start on our next big project. Yes, Mobfarm. And I've been kind of kicking around what type of Mobfarm we want to do, what kind of design we want. And I'm thinking I'm going to use my flushing Mobfarm that I made a tutorial of a long time ago. Probably 6 months by now, I think. Just because I kind of like the method that allows the mobs to just kind of continuously flow out. You'll see when we actually get it built. But I think that'll have some good advantage to how we want to kill them. But I have changed how they die for that mob farm. You'll see that as well. The one thing I haven't really picked out is what I want it to look like. I mean, it's going to be rather large, and so I don't want to spend too much time working on the exterior of it, making it all nice, because that will be a lot of repetitive building. But we don't want it to just look bland. So I'm thinking we can probably do maybe the land facing side, because I'm going to build it out in the middle of water so that we don't have too much of a spawning issue. That's outside of the farm. And I do have a spot picked out for it. You guys have probably seen it if you've been watching. I think we might have let it slip a couple times, since we did put an anchor where it will be. Probably can't see a thing, can you? Let's pull up our night vision. Oh, yes. Haha, there we go. But it is over by spawn, so we will head over there and I'll show you kind of what we have in store. Actually nothing yet, but we'll get something marked out. Alright, first we need to gather some packed ice. But in order to do that, we'll need a beacon to make our lives just that much easier. So we are going to make ourselves a wither skeleton person. Oh no, give me my skulls back. Oh, gonna have to fix that. But let's kill him first. Alright, well, let's fix that. Well, a little bit of redstone later, and we do have it fixed. So we place those here, we get this centerpiece to pop up, and skull, skull, skull. And it cleanly gets out of the way. It looks like we got one more to kill after this guy, so let me do that, and I'll show you what I did. So if you haven't seen episode 23 on how I set this room up, go back and give that a look. I think you'll like it. Yeah, not very complicated. What I did is I borrowed a line off of here to invert a torch. That way it's not lit up when this thing's extended. And when it retracts, which is when we put a block here and here, then this will pop up as that extends. Actually, this will go off just before that one retracts. That way we can place down our skulls. So the key will be to place here and here first, and then down here and here, and then we can place our skulls. You can see that this line inverted as we got our gate here. So that is how that's working. Go ahead and kill this last wither, and we'll get building our beacon. Alright, so want beacons. Let's see if it'll take it with these modded glass bits. Nope. Alright. Let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. Go. We'll just auto-fill there. Alright, 3 beacons. We technically only need 1. There we go. And we'll grab some base for that. I think I left some over in our mushroom tower. So let's go there. Alright, just shoink you real quick. That should give us, yeah, lots of blocks of iron. Alright, now to find a good place to plunk this thing down at. And we have a winner. Haha. So let's see. Iron. We'll take haste 2, definitely. And let's give it a test here. Yep, we're good. Oh, it would be that my silk touch is not going fast enough. Come on. Okay, well, off we go. Here, puppies. Ha. Hey. Hey. You want some? Oh. Come on. Click. Click. There we go. More? You want some? Ooh. No, you want some. There. Oh. Nope. Need one more bone. And there's one. Let's get you. There we go. What? No bones. Well, at least we got one. Let's see if this one has any. Come on. Here you are. Ah, you got me. Ah. Come on. There. Haha. Alright. Where'd you go? There you are. Here. Aha. No. Ah. Foiled. Alright. Well, at least we got one. We shall bring you back. Now we gotta think of a name. What do you think? We'll figure it out. I wanted to take a moment to officially welcome all of our new subscribers. I have noticed a uptick of subscriptions recently, and I definitely appreciate the feedback that you have been providing by hitting that subscribe button. You know, when I first started this channel, I kind of did it as a way of entertaining myself and hopefully providing some valuable information for you out there. And well, it's been growing. But over the course of this LP, I've been kind of shifting towards how I can best present this information to you, how I can make this an enjoyable experience for you guys as well, and not just entertain myself. And so I've been trying new things, doing new stuff with the vids, releasing some extra content like our How It Works series, and I hope you guys have been enjoying those. You've definitely been doing those likes, and I certainly appreciate that feedback. It's been very motivating for me, and I do appreciate it. And I've also been loving the comments that you've been leaving. Keep doing that. I love the feedback. I love to have that input to help guide these episodes. You know, I don't want to be that separation YouTuber that doesn't listen to comments. I like to hear them, and it can help direct these episodes so that I can show you things that you want to see, not just things that I try to come up with, because let's face it, I'm not that creative or out of the box thinking I can do some fun things, but I do like to hear suggestions, maybe something that I didn't think of doing. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and I hope to bring you much more entertainment. Hopefully not in the way of dying or failing miserably, but more creating something that you guys like. So keep commenting, keep watching, and we'll continue to build this LP together. Now, just in case if you were wondering, no, the packed ice is not for the spawning platforms. I'm actually going to be adding some water channels to kind of sort out the mobs once they've fallen out of the actual mob farm. And those will have the packed ice just in case if they try to swim against the current, since they'll be down by us where we're idling in case if they see us, that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I was collecting the packed ice for. We might not really need quite that much of it, but hey, it's always good to have around just for whatever reason. So let's go ahead and get to the mob farm. It is actually just down this way, kind of near spawn, but you can see right here. Let's see what it looks like. So currently nighttime, but we have a little platform here that I've started collecting resources on. We have a tesseract so we can dump items into our storage system. We have some stone bricks, since that'll be primarily what I build it out of. Ender chest and storage chest. And I brought along some extra resources here in the form of wood and some netherrack. Looks like I didn't need that crafting table. And let's see, we need some of this, so stone. And that's probably not a good place to put that. Let's stick it here. Glass. Because we will have some spots that we want to actually go there. that we'll actually want to have visible so we can have a view inside of our mob farm. Now the other thing is we are currently at Y81. Water level, you notice, has all of those squids in it, which will severely impact our spawning. Since we have that many squids, we might not actually have very many caves below us. But we want to go up high enough that where we're idling is at least 128 blocks above the water line. And let's see what the water line is. Okay, so water's about, what, 63, 62. Okay, so we'll have to be at least, math, 180 blocks up for our idle spot, which is good. I was thinking about building the farm about 40 blocks tall, because hey, if you're going to go and do, you might as well do big. Let me get back up there. So rather than boring you with another time lapse yet again, let's go ahead and try doing some jump cut progress updates. Ready? Go. Okay, so far not a whole lot to see, but we do have our primary axes here. This square area will be our actual farm, and we might have an AFK spot right about there, just so we are that full 128 above the water and still far enough away from our mob farm that the entire thing will be spawnable, since we have to be at least 24 blocks away to actually get the mobs to spawn. And we can't kind of hang out under it, because then we'll dip down into the water. I don't want to raise it too high, because then we might have to worry about build limit for the top, because I like going big. So let's go ahead and get cracking on a little bit more, get kind of the foundation laid out, and then we'll start building up the walls. You know, there's something that just kind of feels safe about building so high above water. Gives us a nice little place to fall down into in case if we do fall off, so we don't die instantly. But we are coming along. We have some platforms here that will help funnel some water down into these channels to get to the center. You can see we got some glass areas here for observation, so we can look out into these water channels, and hopefully this will be far down enough that we'll still have some spawning on the higher up platforms, so we can see them kind of work their way down to the middle here. Good thing I'm not doing a time lapse for you, because it is raining, but we have made some more progress here. We have pretty much all of the base outlined. It'll be just slightly larger than this, just to that part here on each side. But it's getting pretty colorful, isn't it? We have all of this for water channels. It'll come from these corners and flow down and then into the middle here, collecting all of the mobs that drop into this outer ring. Now, this area may look a little bit wasted, but don't worry, we'll have spawning platforms on top of that, as well as along the outer perimeter. And you'll see kind of how that design works out. I kind of wanted to be unique, didn't want to do any of the farms that are kind of out there right now, just to be different, really. I'm not sure if this will have any advantage or disadvantage over, say, your standard single slot fallout kind of mob farm. This one does give me the advantage of having a central point to bring all of the mobs down out of. So we'll see how that works out for us, since I have not even built this thing entirely in creative, so I haven't tested it. So, ooh, fly by the seat of our pants here. Well, let's get moving on. Is it just me, or is it always raining? Well, I got the outer platforms done. You can see the teeth I have outlined here in actually acacia wood. And then we have our inner spawning pads that will be in this area here. I moved our portal up to the base here at one of our observation spots, so it'll be easier to access. And As you see, we have this little zigzag area that the mobs will fall into, get collected by the water streams to go down the center hole here. Then we're going to have some redstone in this area coming up the middle to help dispense water onto these pads here. And actually, I think we're going to start with that waterfall design that I have a tutorial for, just to see how it works. I think it'll do pretty well. The only thing I'm concerned about is lag. I think that it's going to cause this area to chunk quite a bit with having water spread across this entire building all at once. So we might have to change it to dispensers, which I have about half fire off at a given time, and the other half alternating. I don't know, we'll have to see, but I'm going to do the waterfall thing to begin with, just so we can get this building in all its glory. I'm trying to design a little bit on it, but obviously it's going to be a mob farm, so I'm thinking maybe just the exterior, the outside of these walls here, might need a little bit of sprucing up. Probably not with spruce. But we do have one other thing to address first, besides getting some netherrack stairs for right here, and that is back at our base. We're back at our storage room because we actually received a comment that read, a single redstone energy cell outputting about 5 to 15 RF per tick should be enough to pump out items from a chest being filled by at least one quarry at full speed. Just place the energy cell right next to the wooden pipe, just like a redstone engine, and it pumps out quite a bit. That was Starry Night 64 that gave me that tip, and I did not know you could do that, and I happen to have an energy cell. So let me go ahead and redesign this little bit here. I've already tested it in a creative world, and it works great. I'm probably going to put it right where that guy is. So let me clean this out. Alright, that didn't take too long. So we have 10 RF per tick actually right now, and that'll actually draw out pretty well. Let's just go ahead and throw a bunch of this stuff in there. You can see it's pulling out half a stack, almost a stack at a time. The only thing we got to worry about is overloading these Buildcraft pipes, because they will explode if you get too much stuff going through them. And with this pulling out from two directions here, we have that potential. And that brings me to the last little bit. He's going to get a little bit of a twofer here. He also asked, I'm curious, why do you use both Buildcraft and Ender.io piping for your machines? And the short of that is, I just like to watch the items flow through. We had thermal expansion piping, which had transparent pipes, so I could watch the items flow through with those, but with thermal expansion, they actually pulled that out of that mod pack. And so it was pretty much Buildcraft at that point, so I could see this. But on the plus side, thermal expansion came out with a new pack called Thermal Dynamics, which is their piping systems. You got your servos, and you got your fluid pipes, and your item transport conduits, and all that good stuff. Yet, once more, and even better, we actually added it. Let's see, item. So we have all of our servos, we got our item ducts, warp ducts, all that happy stuff. And we are going to be playing around with some of that now that we got it back. Yes! It's going to be a little hard coming off of these Ender.io pipes because they just take a lot of that functionality and feature that thermal expansion has and kind of wraps it all into one pipe. Whereas thermal expansion, it was kind of more of a upgrade process, and it felt a lot more, natural, a lot more game-like, as opposed to just poof, here you go, here's all your piping and maybe one or two upgrades to it is all you need. So it does have a lot more progression feel to the thermal expansion pipes, so I definitely liked that aspect of it. But yeah, that's doing nice. And now that we have pretty much unlimited energy, now we can actually do something like that. Whereas the redstone engines I had because we didn't have unlimited energy, and I didn't know we could put a cell right next to it. That's the reason I'm using BuildCraft and Ender.io piping is this Ender.io stuff does really well at moving a lot of items quickly without exploding. So yeah, there's your answer. I hope you've liked that. And yeah, let's see, Starry Night 64. There you go. I'm gonna have to find a bookshelf for those. But that is it for today. I hope you've liked the episode. We will be continuing our mob farm in the next episode, so be sure to watch out for it. And thank you for watching. Do hit that like button if you have liked it, and we will see you next time.